Tonight, it's Halloween, and as you can tell, I just got off of my other job and didn't have time to dress up for Halloween. My apologies. It's MU180 tonight. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Kevin Ellis. Tonight's top story, vampires are on the loose at a Taco Bell in Hollywood, California. The group of 6 vampires have taken hostage a number of locals and Tom Hanks. Los Angeles police and the National Guard are currently outside of the Taco Bell waiting for reinforcements to arrive. And we are being told that a reinforcement that they are waiting for is Hugh Jackman, who played Van Helsing in a movie a couple of years ago. We will bring you more details once Mr. Jackman arrives. Bigfoot made an appearance in The Price is Right today, winning the $10,000 bonus on the big wheel, but failed to win the Showcase Showdown against Honey Boo Boo. Not good for Bigfoot. A political fundraiser and Halloween party is going to be happening at the Continental this weekend, where the president plans on dressing as Casper, Mitt Romney as a maid, and Joe Biden as Jerry Sandusky. Not a good call. And it's now time for This Day in 1860. 1860, oh yeah. On this day in 1860, a man by the name of Patrick O'Toole was walking home from a pub on a late Halloween night where he saw a full moon and, well, he turned into a werewolf. And he ate a goat. And that's your day in 1860. We now turn it on over to Mr. Kevin Landgraf, who is currently in Hollywood at the Taco Bell, where Hugh Jackman has just arrived to slay the vampires. Kevin.
That's right, Kevin. I'm in La La Land, where Hugh Jackman is trying to save Tom Hanks from the vampires. For some reason, they decided to come out of the darkness after thousands of years in hiding in a Hollywood Taco Bell.
I don't know about you, Kevin, but Taco Bell would be the last place I would think to go if, I wanted to eat a quality person to eat,
Exactly my thought, Kevin. Now, I really want to get to the real problem at hand, and that is the question of what the heck am I supposed to wear on Halloween? I am allowed to wear a chicken costume, but I'm not allowed to show off my alabaster beauties. I see a nurse, a cop, a fireman. It's a coin flip. I pick one. I go to the counter, and I get eyebrow raises. I don't think that's fair. Sure, I can shake my tail feathers, and I'll be picking up the chiclets, no doubt, but I don't feel like the costume does me justice unless it cuts off at my waist. Now, I mean this in the most sexist way possible, but the last time I went to a doctor, my nurse was not wearing fishnets.
Well, the problem is, Kevin, you're going to the wrong doctor's office.
Well, I'll get your doctor's number later, but back to the point. What happened to the traditionals? Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman. Back in 4th grade, Wolfman was a furry creature that scared the living bejeebers out of me. Nowadays, you got the Wolfman in a 2-piece. Honestly, Kevin, I haven't seen hair look that good since junior year of high school after prom in the school parking lot.
All right, Kevin. Back to the real story at hand. Do we have any report on the condition of Tom Hanks?
Oh, yeah, he's dead, Kevin.
Well, very good. Let us know if Hugh Jackman figures out how to shoot his crossbow, all right?
Will do, Kevin.
And up next, we have the magnificent Marco with the spooky weather. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. If you're looking for the weather and a bunch of other crap to go along with it, Marco's your man, and he's next with Twisted Temps.
Hey everyone, it's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, just so you know. Now I had quite an experience over the weekend. I went home for fall break. I live way up north in Ashland, Wisconsin, right up on Lake Superior. Now, Ashland is a tiny little town with only 8,600 people living there. And it has an airport, but I'd never been there before. I'd never even seen it. Well, I flew in Wednesday night, and you would expect there to be a runway with the lights on. No, it was just a dude in the middle of a field with a lantern waving his arms going, "Down here!" And as we all know, it's fall, and I hate fall. It's down here, fall is like spring. It's just wet and it's gross, the air smells like Courtney Love, and there's never any sunlight. But where I come from, the weather is insane. There's no pattern and no way to predict it, which is why I don't even try this crap up there. It's 80, it's 20, it's 60, it's 40. Thursday morning, it was 28 degrees out, and by 3:30 that afternoon, it was 95, and that's the norm. That's one of the big problems. You have nothing in your wardrobe that matches the weather. You put on a jacket because in the morning you're cold and you're freezing your tail off, and you step outside and you're sweating because it's hot, but there's a breeze off the lake, so you're cold. Moving on, we know that Halloween is just around the corner, and we have a Halloween forecast that will send shivers down your spine. But seriously, it's going to be cold. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and not just because women use it as an excuse to dress like prostitutes. Look, I'm the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, if she was a hooker. But ladies are going to want to give those stripper costumes a rest, leave them at home this year, which means that the guys aren't even going to want to bother leaving the house. But I like Halloween because Halloween is incentive-based. If you hustle, you can stock up on candy for the upcoming fiscal year. Halloween is about running as far as you can, as fast as you can, and then you end up going to the nice lady's house who wants to have a conversation. What are you supposed to be? I'm supposed to be leaving. Can we pick up the pace, please? Now, last year, some buddies and I decided we would hand out treats, and a group of promiscuous-looking chicks came up to the door and said, "Trick or treat," and we were all like, "Trick." And I'm not allowed to talk about what they did on TV like this, but long story short, we liked them so much, we took the razor blades out of their apples. Now, the reason there's not going to be a lot of women running around scantily clad is that on Halloween night, it's going to be 23 degrees out with a wind chill factor of -5. And I would like to suggest an alternative for the ladies. Instead of going as Snow White Thighs or Scariel, the little merbag, try dressing up as an Escahoe. The costume is basically lots of skin-tight leather with a hood. It combines all the warmth of a parka with all the complete lack of modesty offered by Kevin's costume tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the weather. I hope you all have a mantastic Halloween, and if it's too dark for you here, just head for the East Coast. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Back to you, you sexy beast.
I like Halloween more because of that man right there. Now we turn it on over to Zach Myers, who has a buttload of sports to report with the MLB season wrapping up and the NFL nearly hitting their halfway mark. On over to you, Zachary.
Happy Halloween and welcome to Sports. For those of you who are wondering what I'm wearing, this is called a costume, but not really. I'm a Vons employee, which is a grocery store in Southern California. I worked over the summer at the Vons in the meat department, making $8.20 an hour, paying union dues with crappy hours. This isn't a costume, this is life. Well, we're going to start out with baseball news as the New York Yankees were swept in the American League Championship Series by the Detroit Tigers. The Yankees played a pitiful postseason as many of their stars were not living up to their potential, most notably Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez went 3 for 25 in the postseason. But who cares? Alex Rodriguez makes $29 million this year. $29 million. Who cares? At least you aren't making $8.20 an hour, paying union dues with crappy hours while working in a meat department. The Detroit Tigers stopped using Jose Valverde as their closer after he was continually failing to close out games in the postseason. But who cares? Valverde, you made $7 million this year. $7 million. Who cares? At least you are making $8.20 an hour while paying union dues with crappy hours while working in a meat department. Moving over to football, Joe Flacco and the Ravens lost the game where it didn't even look like the Baltimore Ravens tried against the Houston Texans. Joe Flacco called his game and the rest of the team's playing frustrating. You know what I find frustrating, Joe Flacco? The fact that over 5 years, you can make over $30 million. $30 million! So who cares, Joe Flacco? At least you aren't making $8.20 an hour, paying union dues with crappy hours while working in a meat department. The Tennessee Titans beat the Buffalo Bills, but who really cares? Both teams still suck. The big news was Chris Johnson, the running back for the Titans, rushed for 193 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. Chris Johnson has been playing about as good as a squirrel would this year and finally played like he should play, especially since he is making $9 million this year. $9 million! So Chris Johnson, maybe you shouldn't celebrate the fact that you finally played well, but the fact that you make $9 million this year instead of getting paid $8.20 an hour, paying union dues with crappy hours while working in a meat department. In another football story, San Diego Chargers are getting investigated for illegally using a stickum substance in the game against the Denver Broncos. As a Chargers fan myself, I can only be more disappointed in my hometown team. How does a team get a 24-0 lead at halftime and cheat and still not score a single point in the second half and lose 35-24? I mean, really, how much more can you hurt a fan? Now I'm a Vons employee making $8.20 an hour, paying union dues with crappy hours while working in the meat department, and I cheer for a team that can't win when up by 24 points in cheating. Finally, this week's sport of the week, my favorite segment, is called Life. In this sport, you have to go to Vons.com, apply for a job in the meat department, pay union dues, get crappy hours, and make $8.20 an hour and hate your life. You might as well live in a van down by the river. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Zach. Now don't go anywhere, because when we return, we'll be joined by our special correspondents, Trayvon the Wise and Gilberto the Great. Stay with us. Hello again. Right now we have a couple of guys who we pulled off the street and we have no idea who they are, but here it goes.
Hello, I'm the one and only Bob Marley's grandson, Bartholomew Christopher Marley the First.
And I'm Officer Cowboy.
Welcome to a new segment we like to call WeTube. That's right, WeTube. Not YouTube, because that would be copyright infringement. Our first video tonight takes place in a meeting Officer Vaquero and I were in, where we took footage of a few of our colleagues displaying symptoms of Asperger's syndrome, which personally intrigued me.
Sex offender. Master, master! I'm invisible! I took care of the pregnancy! I'm black and I'm proud!
I just came from an old folks home. You can smell death.
I just got pubes. Who wants to see?
My mom did my family tree, and guess what?
Is it murder when it's a crime of passion?
If I get fisted, does that mean I'm a fighter?
I hate black people! Who wants a blowjob?
Woo! September 10th, baby! You know what tomorrow is?
As I like to say, there's always a good time to say the wrong things. Our next video is of my uncle Obadiah Marley biking through the beautiful open lands of Africa. What he didn't know at the time was that in open land, there are such things as wild animals. And well, you'll see what I mean.
Holy cow!
Ouch is the word of the day, and unconsciousness was the word of the month for my Uncle Obadiah. Our next video was taken during Officer Vaquero and I's annual trip to the zoo with our Asian Children Exchange program, where the little ones were so engaged with the animals, we asked our buddy the bear to entertain the kids for a little bit, while the cop and I simply found something better to do with our lives. You know, I will always remember the smiles and laughter we had while listening to the Asian children rap, "Go Shorty, It's Your Birthday." It really taught me about why we do these things, not just to receive a minimum wage paycheck or steal fried rice from the Asian children, but to really experience life-changing moments. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, gentlemen. We now turn it back to Gilberto, who has a new dance to show us, and a couple of other disturbing images in this week's special report.
Hey guys, it's Officer Vaquero reporting for duty. First off, we have my best friend, Sharon. He shows us the proper way to twerk. Twerking is a dance style that I invented to pass the time in my Italian class. The object of this dance is to bring all the boys and girls to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Anyway, here it is, Sharonda. No, he is not having a butt seizure, I promise you. He and I once had a twerk off and I kind of sprained my butt. Anyway, this next video is of my son, Willard. Willard is the baddest beatboxer of the Midwest. I don't know how he does it, but his friends are such wonderful supporters. Willard had a hard time adjusting in school, mostly because his two moms and I, yes, I am a polygamist, bought him hamster glasses. We saw him wearing there the most stylish blue and white striped shirt. It was inspired by the first Dr. Seuss book, which was later burned by extremists who thought Dr. Seuss was spreading witchcraft. This next video is of my sister, Dora the Explorer. She was in an elevator and she was attacked by some creep. Now, Dora has many fans, so I would like to take this time to address this issue. Although many believe she deserves getting attacked because of what she does to her audience, for example, being her biggest fan, I watched the show. But when she asks, "Do you see Swiper?" "Where?" I yell at the TV. "He's right there, Dora. He's right there. I know for a fact you can see him. We have the same eyesight." Blah! And then she says, "Where? Over there?" And I'm just like, you know what? I hope Swiper swipes more than your little precious backpack. Now, I don't quite understand why Dora was taking an elevator in the first place. She must have gotten lost on the way to visit Jose. Oh yes, I should mention that Dora is a black belt in all martial arts. She once beat me up when I tried to hook her and Swiper up. He thinks he's getting away. But nuh-uh, honey boo boo child. Dora ain't done with you yet. This last video is self-explanatory. It's me and Dora's cousin, Shani Quantantra. I can't even Anyway, thanks for joining us this week. This is Officer Cowboy, and that's all for me this week. Thanks for being with me, and I'll catch you next week on MU180.
Well, thank you for joining us in this Halloween edition of MU180. We hope to see you next week again after Halloween, something like that. Thanks for staying with us. We'll see you next time.